this guy is the brains behind. He's just doing his hair. He's kind of the brains behind Get Your Mind Right and Talking Shop. He also has a specific purpose. He's also a good-looking dude. So if there's any ladies out there that you know, I want to introduce you to Barney. Boom. Welcome to. I suppose you've been here all the time. Welcome to Get Your Mind Right. Is it nice to be on camera at last?
Yeah, instead of behind the scenes, it's
instead of listening to us chat, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, probably I should let people know that you've been doing our social media work and our videos for maybe 3 years, 4?
Something like that, probably since about 2016.
Okay,
probably
4 years, yeah.
The first one was 2016.
Time
and then
flies.
It was kind of more regular after that, isn't it? Yeah.
But Barney is absolutely phenomenal at what he does. Barney is very calm and puts up with me and Leanne sort of stressing about all sorts of things. And Barney also gets texts at 5 a.m. and at midnight.
Usually Simon bragging about his row.
Yeah, usually me saying I beat you again. But tell people a little bit about Barney and tell people a little bit about Barney Around the World.
Barney Around the World. So this is a project that we're all excited about.
He's been bullied into it as well by Simon. He didn't have a choice.
Still in the planning stages at the moment, but it all kind of came from my love of photography and travel with photography and videography as well. Which is why I've been doing a lot of the social stuff for winners. And it pretty much started. I think it was when I finished uni in about 2015. Up until then, I had the usual lads' holidays as you do in Greece and stuff like that.
Kavos.
That's it, yeah. But that was always under a budget because those places are super cheap. And I kind of started to build. As I built, I went into my first job after uni, after being a broke student. I was able to fund a few more kind of trips and expeditions, things it immediately allowed me to kind of look further into what else I could do. So I started thinking, right, I put a bit of a plan together, thinking, right, I love photography, I love video. What I love doing is being away with my friends, travelling around, and all the experiences that we're enjoying, all the people that we're meeting, all the places we're going to, all the cultures we're going to, and that was just Greece. I was kind of super pumped with just Greece, and I was thinking, I need to go somewhere where I'm a bit more, a bit more out of my comfort zone, somewhere not so many people go. And so with that, as I was able to build a few more funds and a few more, camera gadgets and everything like that, I thought, I'm going to set myself on a bit of a journey really to see how much I can try and travel within the means of a job, by everyone I'm talking to now. This was all under doing a full-time job, all within the holiday. I never took a gap year or anything like that. I was able to possibly negotiate a bit more time off unpaid, so it was fair on the rest of the guys I was working with, and just set a plan to just travel as much as I could and go to all the places that I wouldn't have normally gone to, or the normal person wouldn't have gone to. And I'm not saying that it's places completely off the grid, because they are still holiday destinations. So I've been to places like Indonesia, Bali, Lombok, those sorts of areas where it's very popular with people from kind of Australia area and that sort of part of it, part of the earth, and for us, for here, I didn't kind of hear anyone else sort of going to those sorts of places of the world. So I thought, let's go there. That's somewhere different, and that's where I can then go and just completely immerse myself. And that kind of, every time you go on a different trip, it kind of, it pretty much sort of like reignites your hunger to do more and more and more, and go kind of, that's right, and go like way more kind of harder, more out of your comfort zone. So you start to, instead of going to stay at hotels, you sort of start booking Airbnbs where you're living with more local people, and then you're going to hostels, and then you're camping, and then you're doing a road trip where you're living in the back of a camper for 2 weeks, trying to get from A to B in a bit of a kind of a Top Gear style
I love that.
trip.
Would I have Wi-Fi and aircon in the camper? I can't come otherwise.
It depends what you like. Some of them actually is a lot more connected now. Right. So you find that places that Asia and things like that, where it was way less connected, because they're gearing themselves, they're getting more popular with Western sort of culture and all the technology and everything we're used to. they tend to kind of provide that as more of a package now, like a little Wi-Fi thing to plug into your camera, your car, and then you can get a SIM card where you get data and stuff like that.
So I could almost come along, I need to have a shower, I need to have Wi-Fi, I need to have aircon.
Your video though from Bali, I think, was
amazing.
I don't. How Tui, your first choice, didn't tap you up for that? I
was hoping that was going to be it.
Hang on a sec. He's part of the podcast. Don't go selling him.
I'm just saying it was insane. Now I'm trying to persuade my husband for us to switch Mexico for Bali. So.
Ooh. Now, why did I? So about a year ago, I reckon, me being the facilitator stroke bully that I am, said like, Barney, that there is mileage in this. Why did I think that having you and that concept as part of our podcast was of value? We call this podcast Get Your Mind Right. And I think if it was just me doing this podcast, we'd have a lot of geek strength and conditioning people, and it might appeal to a tiny demographic, small people. I want this podcast to really help a broader audience in terms of get their mind right. As Leanne says about your videos, what I hope, and I've been saying to you when you finally get around to it, is I hope that you can run some podcasts where you talk about these expeditions, is the word you used, and you explain to people kind of about the culture and about the things you encountered, so that people can put it on when they're eating their tea. It can provide a little bit of escapism, a little bit of positivity, and maybe it stimulates them to think, well, do you know what? I'm going to make a trip. Now, if you suddenly want to sell these things to TUI, well, remember, you're contracted to us. All right?
We are on commission.
We want to cut, but just to let the viewers know, that's really my aim. I said to Barney about a year ago, man, we've got to do this Barney around the world, or Barney in 80 days or something. I said to you like that. Barney's obviously very busy with a full-time job.
He's not flying a hot air balloon around the world.
Well, that's an idea.
I'm probably also very guilty of, like, as Leanne says, sometimes when I get an idea, I'm like a dog with a bone. Come on, Barney, get it done. Barney has a full-time job. But Barney is helping us and taking a lot of time to help us with this project. But that's kind of where we're going with it.
That's right,
So which is going to be the first one? No pressure, no diamonds.
Yeah, where's the next trip?
No, what's the first presentation he's going to do?
We could possibly do something where, I could bring up a photo or a bit of video and kind of talk behind what that whole sort of photo meant, where we were, and kind of the people we met, and how the kind of the story around the photo or the video.
Right, we're doing that next.
We're doing that.
There you go.
Pick the best one.
You've been told.
Start off.
We definitely want the video of you and Jack and Cabos, though, please.
Yeah. I want to see some of those. Though.
I should probably also let people know that Barney is an incredibly fit member. I don't just mean fit, I mean fit. Barney's a rower. You compete, don't you?
I do, yeah.
For which club?
Brixham Gig Club.
Brixham Gig Club. Big shout out to Brixham Gig Club. What's your current?
Here we go. Get the tape measure out.
What are your current PBs? Give these guys some ideas.
Okay, 2K, 620. I can't remember what I said. 28.
No,
yours is 28.
I'm
27. It's like a second off, isn't it? 627 and 3K was 10 something.
500.
500 was 131.
Oh, just 131.
What's yours, Simon?
128 2 weeks ago.
Here we go. I think we should do the
live,
row live competition between these two.
I think we should.
I'll commentate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do a joint puke. I think we should just go to a puke, and then we can live stream me and you puke. If anybody saw me after a 2K row, so for example, like when I did one in this lockdown, I rolled off and I actually had my face stuck to the wall, and I was sort of dribbling, and there was like bits of sick coming out.
I'd pay to see that.
I thought, if anybody could see me now, they'd think.
I look forward to it. I laugh when I wake up in the morning. I see 4:30 a.m. just yanked in the shower.
Yeah.
It's the ones I look forward to.
Does he call you a pussy as well?
Yeah, I do. Usually.
Yeah, I do.
You should be doing this.
Yeah.
So that's. I thought it was a good time to get Barney on and introduce him today. Barney is an essential part of our team. The goals for this podcast are very much that I think each of the three of us, forgetting how to speak here, probably has interests and specialisms in slightly different areas. I think if the podcast was all me or all Leanna or Barney, we might not ever get the impact that we want to the audience. And that's why some days, like I say, it might just be Barney. Some days it might be Leanne. Some days it might be me up in Newcastle with Shirley on maybe.
I'll comment on that one. You're not leaving me out of that.
So that's really the aims of the podcast.